All right.
Are we
Here we
live?
are. We
Sorry
are
about
back.
that. I was
Yeah.
just catching up a little bit on my Southwest Airlines debacle, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you had said accurately that the CEO of the company is losing his damn mind, and he's trying to put out some good propaganda. In case you people aren't
Yeah.
aware, Southwest had a meltdown over the Christmas holiday season, to which I was a victim. I'm not supposed to be sitting here today with the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson,
True.
Jason Crawford.
That's right.
I'm supposed to be skiing down a mountain in Colorado. But
Yeah.
as you see, Millie and I are not skiing down a mountain in Colorado because we were the victims of
That's
of a Southwest meltdown. I
one
mean,
way to do the new year.
we got lucky, honestly, because here's
Yeah.
what happened, Jason. We were supposed to
Yeah.
leave Monday at 6 p.m. I was telling you before we went on, at uh, about noon, we get a text, that notify Leanne's blowing me up. I guess she might be watching. So about noon, we got, oh, your flight's delayed 2 minutes. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's not even a delay. Literally 10 minutes later, we got another text. The flight's delayed 42 minutes. I'm like, well, unless if you don't fly very often, anything an hour or less nowadays, even forget Southwest. I mean
Yeah.
Delta. I mean, if you're an hour or less, then that's you're okay. When it
Okay.
gets longer than that, then it's no fun. So
Okay. Okay.
about 30 minutes later, so now from about noon to 12:30, we get canceled. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So then,
I.
of course, as you start watching the news and you see the baggage issues and the flight cancellations,
Yeah.
the thousands, I'm like, okay, well, we're not going. I'm not getting caught out in this mess, so to speak, because last year, God, Leanne and I are 0 for 2. Last year, we were in Lake Tahoe and a
Yeah.
blizzard hit, and we were at LAX airport for 18 hours waiting to
Wow.
see if we were going to have to spend the night or get a flight home. And luckily, we got like a red eye, so we fly all night, see the sun coming up. That was a long day, and Leanne and I both agreed, as did Brittany, the girls, we're not going through that again.
Yeah. Wow.
Here's the
Wow.
kicker, though, and now it's I never buy flight or what do you call it? Insurance, vacation insurance, whatever it's called, but it may be something to consider. Now,
Yeah.
I got lucky because budget, they just said the budget rental car, okay, we'll give you your money back. Call us when you need us. The place we're staying, Beaver Run, they were extremely nice, and we'd stayed there
Huh.
before, and they said, look, we'll hold your money, and then you come anytime before April 30th. They didn't have to do that either. They could have said, well, your reservations cancellation policy is, and thanks for coming, but they didn't. So in the
Hmm.
long run, everything's going to be fine. We'll get that vacation in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully, Brittany's going, start school. Leanne starts.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me ask you a question.
it may be difficult, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. This would be one of those would you rathers. So, would you rather have things happen the way they did or happen on your way back? Where,
Oh, the way they did. It's
yeah,
no
yeah,
brainer. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah. So you get stuck,
No.
man.
Leanne and I have been there. We were there last
Yeah.
year. So, oh no,
No, yeah.
because you very much could find yourself sleeping on an airport floor. Last year in
Yeah.
LAX, people were there for days, and they were literally
Jeez.
sleeping. There's a food court at the airports. Different airports have different
Yeah,
setups.
yeah, yeah.
These
Yeah.
people were sleeping in the food court.
Wow,
It
yeah.
was miserable. So no, I'm
Jeez.
glad.
So
The
that's why
Lord.
I'm seeing these articles pop up where,
Yeah.
oh, Southwest is doing this. They let a soldier off first, and it was heartwarming and blah, because they're trying to drum up
Well, of
positive,
course, it's
positive
brutal.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oy.
They
Excuse me.
somebody dropped the ball. Well, I'm not going
Yeah.
to spend
Wow.
a lot of time on it, but obviously
Okay.
they dropped the ball. And it's funny. I was telling you before. Lord gives you, or not the Lord, someone gives you a
Mhm.
lemons, you make lemonade. All right. So that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do. Ryan and I play a little golf yesterday. It was a beautiful day.
Nice.
But over at Carrollwood is the flight path for the airlines.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, when
Okay.
you play in that neck of the woods, anywhere kind of on that side of the Hillsborough County, you can see the planes.
Yeah.
Plane after plane after plane after plane was not Southwest.
Jeez. Yeah.
Normally, about every other plane you see when you're playing golf is Southwest. Dude, in
Mm.
5 hours, we saw two.
Whoa.
It got to the point where I'd be like, oh, look, there goes another not Southwest Airlines plane.
Yeah. 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 It's a
All right,
drinking
so
game then,
yeah,
right?
all right, so that enough of Southwest. Don't get commanding it down. So I was doing
Yeah.
my
Okay.
my reading, and
Okay.
I got another call about someone being injured on someone else's property,
Okay.
and whether or not you can bring a claim.
Okay.
The misconception is uh, basically if you're on my property, meaning if you're on someone else's property, business, homeowners, or otherwise, and I'm hurt, they're at fault. I'm entitled to compensation for my medical bills, lost wages, pain, and suffering, whatever that may be, from the mere fact that I was injured on their premises,
Okay.
and that could not be farther from the truth. There still has to be negligence on the business or the property owner.
Right. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Right. And so
Negligence or intent, right?
if
I
you
mean,
intentionally hurt
like,
somebody, that's
yeah.
that's a whole
I'm just
different issue.
covering both ends, right?
Remember,
Yeah.
well, your intentional harm, your insurance company may not pay. I'll give you an example.
Ooh.
On road rage incidents, we had a case in 2022 where before the client came to us, they did a recorded statement, and they told the insurance company for the other side that this was road rage incident, that the person intentionally rammed them, and on and on and on.
Person driving the company vehicle?
It wasn't a company; it was just
Oh.
road rage incidents.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
It was road rage. Our client told his or her, I can't recall, I think it was a him, of course, that this was an intentional conduct, that it was road rage. Guess what that person's insurance company didn't do? They didn't pay for anything. Insurance
Wow.
companies pay for negligent conduct, not intentional
Ooh.
conduct.
Yeah. So
So when
my comment was educational
our
unknowingly.
client
That's
shot
wow.
himself in the butt when he vehemently described the incident as road rage, intent, etc.
Wow.
And so, back to your question, if a property owner intentionally harms you, that their home in a homeowner situation, they're not going to pay. They're going to say, no, no, this is an assault or a battery, and we only handle negligent conduct. So, no, intentional conduct is usually very difficult to get compensation for, because you're going to sue the person that punched you in the face. What do
Right.
they got? Uh,
Hmm.
you know,
Interesting.
it can
Okay.
happen. We have
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
some battery cases where we've made money, but either
So do
way,
bouncers count as like like if they punch you in the face or you sustain an
yeah,
injury
I've
from a
got I've got
bouncer?
money for I got a buddy, in my book. It didn't make the book, but one of the Margison brothers was over in Orlando, and a bouncer chucked him down the stairs. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so we got money for that. So yeah, bouncers count.
Interesting.
Bouncers, we've got another one in Brandon in 2022.
So do they count as like company property at that point,
Well, they're
or is it like a
employees. They're
right?
employees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
so
yeah.
in these bouncers, they think, and I'm not ragging all bouncers, but
Yeah. Sure.
there are any member of society in any form of employment, people that just probably don't need to be employed in that
Certainly.
field, whether
Yeah.
it be the law, the dental, the medical, you
Mm-hmm.
name it. And there are bouncers that think that, well, I
They're
can
not going to be
punch
held
you in the
accountable.
face because
Right.
I'm just going to take the position that you were drunk and you started it, and since you're at a bar, everybody will believe me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So they beat the hell out of you, and then cell phone video
Mm-hmm.
and other witnesses come forward, and it's not the way that it's
Yeah.
been portrayed. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, again, there are instances where, of course, you can recoup compensation for
Yeah.
intentional conduct. I mean, you got to look no farther than.
I know we're getting away from the scope of what we decided to talk about, but you're like sparking all of my curiosity. Like
Oh, that's
bounty, now I'm
okay.
thinking like bounty hunters and like the people who do
Oh,
reclaiming
there's
property and
all
stuff like
kinds
that.
of things of that nature.
Yeah.
All right, so in this
All right,
one,
cool.
interestingly enough, this was a apartment complex,
Okay.
and she tripped over a speed bump.
Okay. Walking trips or
Yeah. She was
bicycle
walking to the
riding?
mailboxes.
Okay. Okay.
Now she didn't live there. She was helping a friend move, but she was, for whatever
Okay.
reason, maybe the friend said, "Can you go check the mail before we leave?"
Sure.
But
Okay.
that sounds like what was going on. So she's kind of looking for the apartment complex mailbox. They got those all in one at
Yeah, the
the end
big
of the
yeah, yeah.
street. When she
Mm-hmm.
trips over the speed bump.
Speed bump.
Now, her position was that the speed bump, which is, you have to allege, was a dangerous condition on the premises.
Okay.
And importantly, it was dangerous because it was not painted. She couldn't see it.
Okay.
So far. Now,
Okay.
the during her depot, she testified that she had been to the apartment complex on several occasions. A friend lived there. She had driven over the speed bumps.
Mm.
And so the question was, based on that,
Yeah.
the apartment complex filed what's called a motion for summary judgment. And the
Okay.
motion for summary judgment says, look, there's no issue of law or no issue of fact that the jury would be able to determine that this was not an open and obvious and known to the appellant
Right.
condition.
Right.
All right, so
Okay.
you've got a unmarked, for argument's sake, unmarked or unpainted speed bump, but
Mm-hmm.
you've got someone knowing that the speed bump is there.
Right. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that in and of itself is not the beginning or end of the case, because we
Okay.
had a case where an elderly woman, if you go to one of the local restaurants, you know, and you step up about 6 inches into the
Yeah.
booth, then
Yeah.
about an
Those
hour and a
step
half
ups.
later they stepped off, not
Forgot.
remembering that
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was a
That it was a
step,
higher.
and
Yeah.
broke her ankle.
Oh,
So of course, the restaurant took the position. Look, she knew it was there
she knew
because
it
she
was
had to
there.
step up to get in it. Our position was, yeah, this was her first time there. She stepped up. She ate
Mm.
dinner. Hour and a half later, she stepped down, and you did not. There was no warning.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're
So
saying.
the fact that you do something of that nature is not the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
But so what did the trial court do? The trial court say, no, based on
Um.
the facts, I cannot dismiss the case,
Yeah.
or based on and therefore the case can go forward.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
trial court said, look, this speed bump was open and obvious. You had been there to the apartment before, you had driven over it. And
Yeah.
even though it wasn't painted, and you said that the shade had covered the speed bump in such a way that you couldn't see it, uh, so did he dismiss the case, or did he let it go forward based on
Interesting.
those facts?
So I have a question before I answer that.
Go ahead.
What was there a sidewalk?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Would it matter if there was like a
No,
designated sidewalk? Okay.
no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So okay. All right.
And
I would
other sidewalks, and let's just think most apartment complexes.
most of them have sidewalks
Yeah, well,
to
they
my
have
knowledge.
walkways or different,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but let's just assume, I don't
Yeah.
know. That doesn't matter, to be
It
honest.
doesn't if
She
it
was
doesn't matter, then
walking
it doesn't matter,
down the
right?
middle of the street, unquestionably.
Okay. So I would I mean, was this like her first or second visit, or was this like she's been there a lot?
They said several times. Well, let
Okay.
me just read this. Let me
Yeah.
before this may help you. It says, in premises liability cases, a
Okay.
plaintiff, this would be the injured woman, must demonstrate that the defendant, the apartment complex,
Hmm.
had actual knowledge or constructive knowledge of a dangerous condition on its premises.
Yeah.
All right, it says the defendant owed a duty to protect the plaintiff from the dangerous condition. The defendant breached this duty. The defendant's breach caused the plaintiff's fall, and that the plaintiff suffered an injury.
So this would be where I would think that your case and this particular case
Now, let's just stick with this one. I don't want to
materially
confuse
different
people.
though, because like a
They are.
rise in a booth is not necessarily an accepted condition, but an apartment complex without speed bumps is particularly dangerous, especially for
Well, we're not
kids.
getting that. That ain't the
Right?
facts. They ain't changing the facts.
Just the facts.
This
Yeah, but I mean that
this ain't a
isn't
law
it a
school
part?
exam. Let's stick with the facts. There's speed bumps. One of them was
Yeah.
not painted. The plaintiff said that because of the trees and the shade, she couldn't see it. And
Right.
she tripped and fell over it. They
Not
were the
painted.
facts.
Okay. So they have it, but it's not painted.
A
I would say,
business owner
yeah,
owes two separate duties to invitees, meaning people, customers, or so forth.
sure.
To warn of concealed dangers, which are or should be known to the owner through the exercise of due care, or to use ordinary care and to maintain its premises in a reasonably safe condition. So,
Yeah.
the plaintiff says that they failed to basically maintain the premises in a reasonably safe condition by not basically having some types of markings or paintings on the speed bump.
I would disagree, but
You can't disagree with the law. The law is the law.
Is the law to have them all painted?
No,
Are they required to be painted?
I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What do you mean?
Well, I can tell you.
I'm not disagreeing with the law. What I'm saying is I would say that the judge, I think the judgment came down not.
Put it this way: if this woman had never been to the apartment complex,
yeah, like never,
then she may have you would have a better argument.
Yeah.
Than if you've traversed something 50 times.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, so you've got to remember the facts. Facts make a difference in all of these cases.
That and speed bumps are required.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's up, man?
Forget the requirement or not. That's not the fact. The fact.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is it negligence, right? If a speed bump is required but not required to be painted, it's not necessarily negligent on their part that it's not painted.
Well, what says ye? Did the judge dismiss?
That's what I'm saying. I think the judge dismissed it. I don't think the judge awarded.
Let the case go forward.
I think he dismissed it. That's what I'm saying.
He did.
Okay.
And the appellate court said simply this: the speed bump in and of itself is not inherently dangerous.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't doing very well.
A speed bump is not inherently dangerous, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, it really came down to the fact she had been there on several occasions.
Yeah.
She knew the speed bumps were there.
Yeah,
And they threw the old open and obvious. An open and obvious doctrine is very difficult in falls. Just that simple. I mean, the theory is if you're watching where you're going, you wouldn't have tripped over it. So it's a killer. Open and obvious is a killer. So the judge threw it out, and the First District Court of Appeal, which is up in Tallahassee, affirmed the court. And so out the door she went. Yeah,
I that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Well, you were right.
I just said the wrong words, apparently.
I hear you. And that's that's what's difficult on all of these cases.
That's
falls.
It's not as obvious. Falls. Yeah, it's not as obvious as one might think, though, because given certain considerations, you might think to yourself or empathize with the person that's been injured. But I do think that materially, your case of the booth was different than this one, though.
Yeah.
Especially since speed bumps are required. Elevating your booths is not necessarily a requirement for safety purposes.
Well, whether speed bumps are required, the fact that she had driven over them numerous times is knew they were there. They really hit that pretty hard in the appellate opinion. And the fact that they're not inherently dangerous, and so forth. And another case we had over in the Fishhawk area was there was one of the gentlemen that owned all that property carved out like 10 or 20 acres and kept his cattle there for the longest time, right? So he had his farm still carved out in the middle of Fishhawk. Now, it was when it first started, it wasn't as populated as it is now by any
Yeah.
stretch of the means. In fact, because we bought a house on the east side of his farm, it didn't
Okay.
bother me, cattle, whatever. But he he I guess got tired of kids or people jumping the fence that he had, which was just basically a your average chain link
Yeah.
fence,
Yeah. Okay.
and they were tearing it up or doing whatever.
Yeah.
So he put up a barbed wire fence, okay, around the
Okay.
property. And I actually thought, this was kind of bullshit, pardon my Spanish.
Sure.
But
Sure. Sure.
there's a lot of
Interesting.
kids in Fishhawk. It's a family community,
Yeah.
and to put up barbed wire, I just saw this as going to be problematic.
Okay.
So literally, we moved out for other reasons. We just moved out,
Sure. Yeah.
but within a few weeks, I get a call where kids were playing, kick the can a few houses down.
Okay.
And guess what the kid did?
Ran into the fence.
Ran into the fence,
Mm.
hit the barbed wire. And, they said,
Mm.
well, the barbed wire fence is open and obvious, and they knew it was there. And I'm like, these are kids. You created a dangerous condition, even though it's your property, such
Mm-hmm.
that this kid was hurt. They paid. You know,
Mm.
don't think it's my property. I can do what I want on it.
Right.
That ain't the law
Yeah.
by any stretch of
Okay.
the means. I
Good to
mean, I
know.
can go
Yeah.
on and on about that. We had a
Yeah.
case
Yeah. Yeah.
where the Agrico mines, IMC, whatever they're called now, I forget.
Yeah.
But they had at the end of a road, it's a T road, a T intersection. They had a road continue on. Now it was a shell road after that. It was the what are the Agrico? What are they called now? The
Um,
phosphate people. Yeah, you
I
do.
have no idea. No, I
Well,
don't.
anyway, so they got tired of people trespassing with their ATVs and this, that, and the other. So they put this huge iron metal pipe about 100 feet in, blocking the road.
Yeah.
Well, the road kind of went on an upslope, just a little, such that my guy and his family were down to about 11 o'clock at night doing 55 miles an hour on this road in the Keysville area. The lights were such an angle that and the stop sign was knocked down by the county. So he hit the pipe at 55 miles an hour, damn out the whole thing.
Wow.
So the company's like, well, he was trespassing. And if this was our property, we can do what we want. That's not how it works.
Wow. Yeah. Holy
So,
cow.
yeah. So, but there was a summary judgment granted against me, my client, by the court, and we had to appeal it, and we won.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and then the county, who knocked down the stop sign, they paid. So understand, just because it's your property doesn't mean you can do what you want with it.
Yeah. No. Oh.
And we had talked
Jeez.
about a little bit of that before. So anyway,
Oh. Yeah.
just know, and I don't want to harp forever, but just know
Yeah. Sure.
that these premises cases, they're very, very,
Yeah, they are very
uh,
difficult.
and to
You're
realize,
freezing on me, so give me 2 seconds to let that clear up.
bummer.
Okay. Yeah, you're like chopping in and out. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me
mine
some
looks
head
good.
bobbles. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's
Okay.
fine. I can see me and I can see
Okay.
you.
You're cleared
So,
up
yeah.
now. We're good. You're good.
Let's see.
It might be me.
Yeah, it's not me
No. Okay. I think we're good.
because yeah, I mean on my
Yeah.
end, I'm seeing me move and I'm seeing you
Yeah.
move, so I'm not sure. Might want to update your subscription to
We've got a good one. I
Spectrum
don't
or
know.
Verizon
Yeah.
or whatever the
Because
heck.
we do the streaming quite a bit. So
All
all right,
right,
we're good. It seems
so
clear now. Sorry to end things up. We'll do like a
yeah, Christmas,
2022 wrap up.
good Christmas, the Christmas vacation, New Year's. I will say
Yeah.
this: if you believe nothing else you hear out of my mouth, if you drink and drive, you're going to get. The
Yeah.
cops are out everywhere. Just
Yep.
don't do it. Either don't go Uber, or wherever you're going, stay.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're wherever you're going, stay there. That's a good one.
because you know what you don't want? You don't want to die on New Year's Eve.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? But some they're
Cool. And
going
we'll
to.
wrap up with that. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm just saying,
No,
Jason,
you're right.
go
You're right.
back
You're right.
on in the paper the next day. There's going to be a lot of people that died in car crashes.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't be one of them. You know,
Yeah.
that's seriously, don't be, because it's just doesn't need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
Yeah, no, that's true.
2022, what an interesting year. God bless. I'm glad we're still here. I'll move into 2023.
Yeah.
See what happens. See what happens with. That's right, ladies. The others. We'll,
Yeah. The
see
book.
how that goes. This
So
was a
I have a couple of
perfect.
questions for you to wrap up the year then.
This is like
Oh, sorry. I thought you were cutting out again. It's me, I guess.
here. Yeah,
Favorite
that's you.
favorite
Brittany
memory.
landed safely in DC. All right, good deal.
Got you. That's good.
You want?
You were
What
getting
do you
blown
want?
up. All right. So favorite memory from this year.
Favorite memory.
Yeah, like a memory that you made. You're like, oh, I'm glad we did that.
I
We
gotta
didn't
be
rehearse
honest.
any of these. So
Well, I gotta be honest. Whether favorite, but Leanne and I's trip from the Port in Rio to the Hard Rock in Blizzard, it was one of those trips or that your grandkids. Dude, it was unbelievable.
nice.
Unbelievable. Her and I will both agree we should have just got in Reno, rode the storm out rather than try to drive in the middle of the night, blizzard, up a mountain, in a
Yeah. Yeah.
car. It was unbelievable.
That's
It
awesome.
was stupid, idiotic. Uh, because once you get out of Rio, right, and you pass Carson City, dude, it could not have. There's no lights on the mountain. They ain't like stop, these lights above. It couldn't have been darker. It couldn't have been snowing any harder. Some point the wind was blowing 100 miles an hour or more, and then when we finally got to the hotel and you saw it, it was like, thank you, Lord. So it wasn't the
Yeah.
favorite
Well. Yeah.
favorite
Yeah. Yeah.
memory, but I'll tell you something that Leanne and I will never forget, even when I have Alzheimer's a couple years from now and dementia and can't remember my dang name, unfortunately. Now, I'm not making light of that. I'm just,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Sure.
certainly
No,
one
of
of
course not.
those
Yeah.
memories that will
Yeah. Yeah.
not fade.
Did
What
you
about
do
you?
anything this year for the first time?
Oh, not to my knowledge. I'm trying
Okay.
to think. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Not this year. I mean,
Did you
uh,
learn anything new this year? Like
you
something
learn,
that
yeah, all the time. I mean,
like every day.
this law stuff changes when the
Oh, that's true.
government when they change the statutes and the rules. Yeah, you learn. You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's you. I learn
Yeah.
stuff every day here at work. So yeah. I don't. I'm not gonna talk politics, religion, or otherwise, but
Sure.
you know, it's it's kind of crazy out there for sure.
Yeah, man.
And you had talked about wanting to discuss Whoopi Goldberg and her situation. I said, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
We're not going to.
You
I'm not
still
touching
brought it
it.
up.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. That's fair enough.
I will say it again, to be honest, the less you watch TV and the
The
news
better you're gonna be off. Yeah,
and,
man.
and the less Twitter and social media and
Yeah.
computers, the happier you will be.
Yes.
Because if you watch that nonstop
Yeah.
all day long, the way the internet, the way they target you, you're going to get more angry and more angry and more angry
Mm-hmm.
as the days go by. I'm
Yeah,
just telling
man.
you. You don't have to
Yep.
believe me, but here my favorite saying: "Hear me now, believe me later." Quit all
Yeah.
that crap and see how much happier you are.
Yeah. Well, if they keep you in a state of agitation, they can sell you more comforts, right?
Oh,
So that's the
I
goal, I think.
understand it's all about
Yeah.
money. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that simple. The longer you stay on whatever platform it is you're watching,
Mm-hmm.
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's just that
For sure.
simple. Ain't no other way to say it.
Last but not least, is there something that you hope to accomplish next year? Like, do you have like a something you're really looking forward to?
Um, yeah, well, I don't. Brittany gets her master's. I don't know though if it's going to be this year. I think
Hmm.
I think it's the summer of 24. So
Okay.
I can't say that. Yeah, I can't wait for Brittany to get her master's in nursing
Yeah.
because I don't think it's going to be this year.
Okay.
But that certainly I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
I think Leanne is going for like another degree as well, which should be the summer of this year. That's exciting, you know.
Nice.
Other than that, I just hope that Reed continues to chug along so we can help people. Hope everybody, hope
Yep.
the family remains safe. I will
Yeah.
say this, I will be going to Miami quite often because, as you are aware, or maybe you're not, my brother is now the third base coach for the Miami Marlins.
Oh, I did
Yeah,
not know that.
so if you happen to tune in a
Okay.
Miami Marlins game and you see these big old players
Oh,
out there and you see this not so
tiny little
big
bitty.
third base coach, that is my older brother.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's pretty
That's very
funny because,
cool.
like I said, there's a last year I believe he was the first base coach, and again one of the players got hit by the ball, got plunked, and then the pitcher and this huge player start to get into it. There's Joe in between
Next we gotta we'll have to
trying to
pull clips.
try
We'll
to
have to
hold him
pull
back.
clips
Yeah,
into
maybe
tomorrow.
if you can
That'll be so
find it,
funny.
we can
Yeah.
show it. But it's pretty funny. So, but that's exciting
Awesome.
because on March 30th is opening day where they play the Mets Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm.
They be doing a Facebook Live from whatever the Marlins Stadium is
Oh,
down
we could do that. I
there.
could set that
Yeah.
up.
And
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
well, let's just plan on it. Friday, March 31st will be, let's see, January, March 31st will be live in Miami.
Yeah, I could put that together for sure.
All right. What else? Anything else?
I'd say today would be my daughter's birthday, my oldest. So she's turning 12.
Oh, well, why didn't you tell
So,
me? I could put it up on the sign.
oh, well, now you know.
All right. Well, shoot me a text as soon as we're done and I'll go put it up.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Because I think I
Okay.
have a happy birthday that's been up there a couple of days. So that makes it easy.
All right. Fair
All
enough.
right. So send me a text with that. Happy birthday. Which one?
That's Aurora. Yeah.
Aurora. Happy birthday, Aurora. 12 years old. Oh, next year she's a teenager.
Don't
God
tell
bless
me,
you.
Adam.
God
It's
bless
my
you.
last year. That's it.
All right.
Oh
Take us
man.
out.
All right, man. Happy New Year.
Yep.